on the streets, hottest thing smoking, hottest thing out here on YouTube, giving you your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, my man John Ivory in the production studio. How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling, folks? You know what time it is. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you on YouTube. Speaking of the channel, I want you right now smashing that subscribe button. You hit subscribe right now. Get locked in, get locked on to your coverage here nonstop of Bama football. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button as well. Hit that thumbs up. Like the show. We appreciate all of you for what you do right here. But daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate all of you on this evening. And before we get into the calls and the conversations, John, I want to have about 5 to 7 minutes to talk about this, if I may, because, and I feel like the fans definitely need to hear this. I know a lot of you guys have probably been thinking, the show's been going on at this time, it's been going on at that time, what's been happening, what's been going on. Your man has been moving a lot here as of late. It's been good moving. The reason why I've been on this rapid movement, and it's been a lot of rapid, busy movement, is your man has officially become a homeowner. And I want to give a shout out to my wife, Mia. Babe, you are integral in this process. So proud of you, thankful to you, and my daughter Mariah as well. On April 15th, closing a home, officially a homeowner. It's been a tedious process. It's been a fun process. And for all of you first-time homeowners, you understand when you get this, the things that come with it. Getting the equipment in, getting the stuff signed, and the furniture and pieces being moved around, and it's been a lot happening here. But I appreciate all of you, the fans, and everybody at TDA bearing with me during this time of transition, but during this time of joy and excitement. So I felt like I need to share that with you. I appreciate you, John. Give me those minutes there to share that. That's what's been going on with me. I've transition into home ownership, new home. So definitely want to thank my wife and my daughter and, for being a part of this process with me and helping me, through this process, because it's been something. So we are continuing to get some stuff, moved around here, but definitely want to thank all of you, the Bama faithful, for your patience and just bearing with me through all of this. But as always, we're going to get to your phone calls tonight. We're going to get to the fun stuff. Let's talk about Crimson Tide football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely got to shout out some early viewers to the show tonight. See Bama! Appreciate you, man. See Bama, loyal listener of the show. Let's get into us early. We got to shout out Crimson Tide on YouTube. My man B Jammin then dropped in here. Jay the GOAT, gotta love you, man. Dennis Wilson has two-stepped in here. Marcus McCants, appreciate you, Marcus. Jonathan Cash Money McMillan, appreciate you, brother. Lorenzo Alexander, absolutely. Lorenzo Anderson, absolutely. Damon Davis, appreciate Damon. L.A. Miles is in here, appreciate you, L.A. Miles. All of you guys checking us out so far early on to start the show. Thanks to all of you. Once again, appreciate my man John Ivory for putting your names on the screen so I can get to all of you. But like I said, I want to take some time to start the show, but before starting the show, by giving you just what's been going on with me, update here in my life. But now, we transition to topic number one of the conversation of the show, and we look at Alabama is hitting this, or looking at this NCAA transfer portal. When you look at players in the secondary, a lot's been going on with the transfer portal here as of lately. We have seen Caden Proctor, of course, announced he's coming back in the summer, leaving Iowa. Will be back re-enrolled at Alabama here this summer. So we got that news on Caden Proctor. We know that. We have recently seen James Brockermeyer hit the portal. Still weird to me why he chose hit the portal after dominating in spring, but it is what it is. He hit the portal now. Back home at TCU, Fort Worth, Texas, with Texas Christian University. So there's James Brockermeyer. And now you look at the likes of Peyton Woodyard and Tony Mitchell, both in the portal. And Tony Mitchell, I'm like, God, why? Tony Mitchell, after seeing him come in here, 5-star from Thompson High School in Alabaster. Seeing Tony Mitchell, 2 or 3-time Class 7A state champion at Thompson. Seeing Tony Mitchell come in here with the size he's got, 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds plus. Seeing Tony come in here, and yes, he came in, had a rough patch, rough situation, got into some trouble. Coach Saban stuck his neck out for him, told Tony, you better not do that mess again. I'm going to hang on to you. Tony puts the bad thing behind him, worked his butt off, did a lot of good stuff in the Rose Bowl prep. And then the rumors came out about him transferring. He put the cap emoji up there on social media. You're thinking he's not going to do it. Same Tony Mitchell that was battling at star, was battling at strong safety behind Malachi. I got a chance to speak to defensive back coach Kalen Hitzler, and he was saying how happy he was about Tony. And then to see Tony put his name in that godforsaken portal, that one hurt. That one hurt me a little bit, y'all. That one hurt me a little bit, but best wishes to Tony, man. I kind of hate that one kind of stung me a bit, and then a lot. And then you got Peyton Woodyard, young man from California, of whom had a really good spring himself. The freshman had a pass breakup or a couple of pass breakups in the 8A game, and really like what his game is out there on the field, and now he hits the portal also. 2 talented DBs have hit the transfer portal. So in this new era of college football, what does this mean for Alabama? What does this mean for Kalen DeBoer? Well, you go out there and you see what is in the portal that Alabama can bring in. What is in the portal that Alabama can get to ease the pain, to ease the blow, to ease the cushion? What can you get? So Alabama's expected to have 3 visitors this weekend, all of them in the transfer portal, a linebacker from South Alabama, and 2 defensive backs. But we're going to focus this segment on the 2 defensive backs. The 2 transfer DBs that'll be in Tuscaloosa this weekend, you have Deshaun Jones out of Wake Forest, cornerback, and you have Isaiah Hamilton out of Houston, cornerback. Both of these two guys are corners. Deshaun Jones, corner, Wake Forest. Isaiah Hamilton, corner, Houston. This is big for the Crimson Tide. Why? Because we have seen, since Nick Saban announced his retirement, it's been Noah's Ark times the Exodus, 2 by 2, get out of here. They've all gotten out of here. Whether it's Earl Little, whether it's Trey Amos, whether it's Antonio Kite, whether it's Jake Pope, whether it's, no matter who it's been, they've gotten out of here, gotten out of the program. You lost 2 guys, corners, via the NFL draft, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry. You've lost others via the transfer portal. So you got to develop some depth and some experience depth here from the portal. So you look at Deshaun Jones coming in this weekend from Wake Forest, ACC, so Power 5 conference there. And then you got Isaiah Hamilton coming in from Houston, cornerback from the portal. Can Alabama get both of these 2 is the big question. Can they get both of these 2? Because if you look at it, I like Damani Jackson, the transfer from USC, who had a really good spring. Jaleel Hurley, former 5-star from Florence High School, North Alabama, 2023 class. Really like him. Redshirt freshman season. But can he hold on to that spot there at outside corner? We'll see as we get ready to get into summer workouts and fall camp soon. When you got a chance to pick up 2 experienced defensive backs in a secondary where you got a lot of young talent. Yes, you got experience with Malachi Moore. You got some experience with Devontae Smith. Got experience with Keon Saba, transfer portal from Michigan. But a lot of young talent also in the room. Kalen DeBoer's got a shot to bring in 2 guys with playing experience, big-time experience here in college football with Jones and Hamilton. And when you look at both of these 2 guys, here's a shot for both of these 2. These 2 can get into Alabama, be a part of the culture, be a part of the program, be a part of the Lank mentality. These 2 also have a chance to come in here. Should they come in here? Should they commit and sign? Should they commit, sign, be a part of this? These 2 have a chance to come in here, have an impact on this roster, push for a starting spot on this roster, and put this defense in a situation to where it can be a very good defense. It can be a very strong defense. Now, am I saying can be a defense that rivals defensive groups in years past? Not going to say that, because those guys in years past were completely different animals than what we see now. But at the very least, a strong defense. At the very least, a good defense. At the very least, a formidable group out there on the field. So going to be interesting to see if Bama can land Deshaun Jones and Isaiah Hamilton here out of the portal. So for Kalen DeBoer, this is a big process for him. And then for Coach Maurice Linguist, Coach Mo Linguist, who coaches corners for Alabama, he's going to have a chance, should Bama land both of these 2, he's going to have a chance to work with 2 guys that have experience and that can bring that experience to Alabama and really help the Crimson Tide grow within the secondary. So Coach Mo, this is going to be big for him as far as teaching is concerned, if Alabama's able to bring in both Jones and Hamilton. Both guys are set to visit University of Alabama this weekend via the NCAA transfer portal. We will see what happens. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here on a Wednesday. When we come back, we go those phone lines, baby. Line us up. Ring those phones. We want to hear your thoughts, your conversations. How are you feeling this evening? We get to you, the Bama family, after this.
Touchdown Alabama is a fully independent outlet that covers all things Alabama football. Founded in 2007 when Nick Saban arrived, we have been here through the entire Nick Saban era. In this new era, now is the perfect time to stay up to date on everything Alabama football and know what's going on, including everything that's going on with recruiting. Our website at touchdownalabama.com will always keep you in the know on everything that's going on with the Crimson Tide. You can also get breaking news notifications with our app. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook, over 60,000 on Twitter, nearly 30,000 on Instagram, over 30,000 on TikTok, and we're constantly growing. Also, be sure to become a part of this rapidly growing venture and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get inside and premium information on the team as well as recruiting inside the state of Alabama. We are constantly adding to our premium subscription package, so be sure to lock in now.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, here we go. We're locked and loaded to the action. from the break, from the hottest show on the streets here. Number one forum for Bama football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to be here with everybody on this evening. Continue to smash that like button. Run those likes up. Get those like levels up. Appreciate that. Hit the subscribe tab as well. Hit that little notification bell to make sure you miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama football coverage. Gotta show some love to Jonathan McMillan with that $20 donation. Dropping the love in there. Appreciate Jonathan McMillan. Daily Super Chat, go $100 there. Daily Super Chat, go $100 right there. We appreciate that. Dennis Wilson in the chat line saying Steven seems a little stressed since Nick Saban retired. No, I'm not stressed since Nick Saban retired. I am okay. Now, I definitely wish Coach Saban a great retirement, which he's having a great retirement right now. I mean, the guy's got a beard for crying out loud now. So Saban's rocking a great retirement. I mean, he's eating little Debbie cakes in the NFL draft thing and breaking down players. I mean, I think this was the most watched draft, John, in a long time because Nick Saban was on it. Like, Saban was on the telecast, breaking down players, telling intriguing stories, eating little Debbie cakes. Like, this was probably the most watched draft in the last few years or so. But anyway, we're going to go on the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, my boy, how you doing? It's G, man.
G, how we feeling, man? I'm doing well, man. Cannot complain here. And if I could, who would listen to that anyway?
I like that. I ain't heard that one before. Hey, look. So the last time I talked to you, Steve, it was a week before A-Day. And I said the question is, does DeBoer have the guts to put the talent out there? And after watching A-Day, I know I'm about 3 weeks behind, but life's been lifing. But it's good, though, like you said, right? So after watching the A-Day, after watching the portal, right?
Yeah.
It's some old guys that got to get out the way. And this name I'm about to say gonna shock you, but you gonna remember the comment I made after the Michigan game, and it's gonna come down to instincts. I believe we saw 3 middle linebackers play more physical and have more instinct than Deontay Lawson. Am I reaching, or was he chilling? Do he think he has his spot locked up? But I don't think Lawson looked better than Aronco. I don't think Lawson had a better instinctive game than what's his name, Alexander. I don't, and I damn sure know he ain't better than Jefferson. We ain't gonna talk about that. But Ty Simpson, people can say, "Oh, Milroe hit a good pass across the middle, a deep dig route versus man coverage." You can have that. He hit a good post against what's his name? What's the boy's name? Malachi. He hit a good 40-yard post against Malachi, but he went 4 for 10, 4 for 11, and then you flip over to Ty, and Ty is fluid. Ty is getting the ball down the field, but I know we're not gonna sit Milroe, right? But I'm talking about the other roster. What do you think we have going on at middle linebacker after what you've seen?
I'll say this. Okunroko's good. He may need a bit more weight, maybe a bit more muscle, but the instincts are there. The tackling ability is there. The ability to dissect, read, and shoot the gap is there. And then Jeremiah Alexander was a freak out of high school. It just took him a minute to get the entire system, which he has it now. Justin Jefferson, I like him as well. So all 3 of those guys are insanely good. And this not even mentioning Sterling Dixon had a great spring too. Sterling Dixon had a great spring too. So that inside linebacker room is deep to where if I'm Lawson, you can't afford to make a mistake. You can't. You can't because Campbell's a freak of nature. Alexander, like, I talked to Kalen DeBoer personally about him, and Kalen DeBoer said when 35's on that field, stuff happens. So you got Alexander.
And we saw it. Yeah, he didn't overhype that. We saw that. When 35 out there was
stuff happens.
Just look at it, dog. We know Jihad not gonna see it. We know Lawson not gonna see it. Shamefully, I'm not hoping for nobody's job to get cut. But the thing with Bama has been the same thing with Bama. We got so much goddamn talent. It's hard to tell somebody that's older no. That's a real thorn in our foot right now.
Yeah,
and you can look at it across the board. And it's been how long I've been saying this, Steve. At the end of every spring, you can see that we got the best team in the land. It's just, do you got the guts to tell the senior to sit down? Do you got the guts to tell the junior who've been trying for 3 years, 4 years? Hey, look, I've been on Roach. I was on Freddie Roach. Hey, I've been calling for Roach. Bo Davis became free. You know how I felt about that. But, hey, man, your boy James Smith looking like second best D lineman on the roster. James Smith looking like he need to be out there.
Straight bully.
James Smith looking like he need to take Tim Smith's spot. I'm not trying to call for nobody's spot. I don't want to do that like that. But I'm for the championship. I'm for the team. So we for the championship. We for the team. Best man got to be out there. Tim Keenan, dog. James Smith, dog. We got to see some things up front. That what's the freshman name? From Bama? The D lineman.
Jeremiah Beeman.
Dog got to be out there. So when you look at the portal, Steve, I'm gonna say this. I said all that to bring it all here. People are complaining about the portal, but I'm always stick to the loyalty aspect of it. Yeah, kids are leaving us for money, but what about the kids that don't? I feel Bama needs to adopt the Clemson way, and that's why you don't see Clemson stars leave. You don't need to go to the portal if you Bama. This is what I love about Dabo Swinney. Dabo say, if my guy's not ready, we gonna ride out with a season that the fans not gonna like. But I'm not gonna bring nobody in here to take his job. I went and recruited him and his mama. So yes, we have the NIL for guys who leave us, but it's no need. I know we're young at safety. I know we're young at DB. But no disrespect. No, what the hell we need to bring somebody in from Charlotte from? And we got 3 guys right here out of Mater Dei. We got a guy right here out of John Pasco, California. What we gotta go get a guy from Wake Tech for? Ride out with the youth. You went and recruited him. If he young and inexperienced, we gonna deal with the wounds as brothers because you want to shine with him when he ready. So you know what I'm saying? You want Tony Mitchell to sit behind Jalen Key again, but the other younger guys ready. So I think the portal is hurting us because we're using it and we don't need to. And these guys are showing you. Jake Pope showed you. Jake Pope went to Georgia. He's about to start. If he's starting for Georgia, he should be starting for us. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, right. Earl Little with the Florida State about to start.
So why are we bringing guys in? We Bama, and you can push this. Bama needs to adopt the Clemson motto. I ain't bringing nobody in that didn't commit to me. This is Clemson. This is Bama. You don't need nobody. Yeah, we got 8 freshmen, but my 8 freshmen are better than your 4 seniors. You know what I'm saying? I like that about Dabo because that's why he don't have no turnover. That's why none of his stars ever leave him. It's loyalty. You know what I'm saying, Steve? But I'm going to get out your way, man. Let somebody get on the phone, big dog. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. G from Raleigh providing some interesting perspective here on a Wednesday. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steven, it's Tobias out of Phoenix, Arizona. Congratulations on the house.
Hey, Tobias, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. It's been rolling. It's been a lot of rolling, a lot of running around. But when you sit there, you can say that, man, you know, the Lord allowed me to be a homeowner. It's something special, man.
Yeah, we know the wife's going to be putting you to work now through all those fixer-upper stuff.
Look, that was already happening in the apartment style, man.
Yeah, I know. But One thing is, like, let's see the last caller, right? He brought some good points. The one thing I disagree on is that many of those guys who could have started transferred before Kalen DeBoer even had a chance to talk to him. They didn't give the man a chance. And if that many people leave, you still got to have bodies because people are going to get hurt with an expanded playoff as well. Clemson's program has slipped because they haven't gotten with times coming to NIL in the transfer portal. Their receivers ain't been that good. The quarterback position ain't been that good. And I just think that you got, and mind you, he's in the ACC. What if he's in the competitive SEC with that mentality? But it's different shows, different folks. But Peyton Woodyer, I just think that's a case of there's a good number of players who play the spring to put tape out there knowing they want to leave. James Brockemeyer had tape. Woodyer. Now, I still don't understand why you ain't give the guy a year on campus, you know. But if a person wants to leave, ain't nothing anyone can do about it. And I say focus on the people who want to be here. And that's the main thing. If they want to leave, good luck to them, whatever. But you got to focus on who wants to be there because those are the ones that we're going to be cheering for every Saturday night.
Good point there. My man, calling out of Phoenix, Arizona, Tobias, with a good perspective there on the show. We pick up this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
What's going on, Steven? This is Juwan from Fayetteville.
Juwan, how we feeling?
Feeling good, my brother. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. We're hitting the dog days, man. We're about to hit this summer, and not much going on as far as Bama football. But soon, hopefully, when we get outside the dog days, we'll get back to SEC media days in July, and then fall camp, and then football season again.
Yes, sir. Thank God. God is good.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to weigh in, man. I haven't talked about Coach Saban at all leaving with anybody since it all happened because I just wanted to watch and see what was going to go on. And the main thing I want all Alabama fans to really look at, go look at the real reason that Coach Saban said he left the team. And it's a hard pill to swallow, I know, for people, but he said at the end of the day, he thought he had a good team and he wanted to come back next year. But after the loss to Michigan, the way the players reacted, and some of the players, he didn't say all, some of the players just wanted to know, am I guaranteed playing time? How much money are you going to pay me next season? And Coach Saban didn't want to deal with that. Well, those are the guys that are still left over on the roster. Well, maybe some of them left and went other places, but that's a big problem. When you're more focused on the money than going out and earning it in name, image, and likeness, everybody wants to be paid to play now. That's the name of the game. Tampering is the name of the game. Pay for play is the name of the game. Everybody's looking for the next guy to bring in. That's what forces Alabama to have to go to the portal. You look at what teams like Ohio State, they come down to Alabama, they take Caleb Downs. I don't know if people realize, man, that is a major, major, major loss. Caleb Downs, he was, as a freshman, we can say best safety in the Southeastern Conference. That guy is lining up on the defensive secondary for Ohio State now. That tilts it heavily towards their favor. They take a guy like Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss, who's doing what he's doing nobody's done since Herschel Walker. Talking about double-digit touchdowns and 1,000-yard rush. He's at Ohio State, man. So you have to adapt. You do have to go to the portal because people are building these super teams of superstars because everybody's throwing the money around. In Alabama, I've watched this whole transfer portal, TCU pick them off. Florida State. Do y'all think those guys got into the portal and then Florida State and TCU contacted them? No way. Just like Caden Proctor. These other schools are contacting these kids all year round. So you have to be more aggressive than playing defense with these things, Steven. That's just what I think, man, since everything happened. I appreciate you for taking the call, brother.
Juwan from Fayetteville giving his thoughts on the show. John, I liken this to NBA. This is like today's NBA. Today's NBA, we got super teams forming, right? I mean, back then with Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, Karl Malone, those guys, it was. I don't want to complain. I don't want other people joining me. I got my squad, you got your squad, I'm gonna take out your squad. I don't need to form up a squad with you. Nowadays, you look at, LeBron James, he tried to do it in Cleveland first go round, but he says, hey, I'm gonna hook up with D-Wade, Chris Bosh in Miami, win a couple, then come back to Cleveland. You got Kevin Durant bouncing everywhere. You got guys just bouncing everywhere. I mean, in the NBA, they're trying to form these super teams to win rings. So I can see that from Juwan's point, this happened in college football. These teams have to use the portal. I guess with me, and I've always said this, with NIL and the transfer portal, it's good for some guys, but for most guys, it robs the hunger from you. For most guys, it robs the fight, it robs the will to compete away from you. Because you instantly see, okay, if this doesn't work out to my favor, why stay, why battle, why compete, why fight for something when I can just take this road to the transfer portal and go elsewhere where another program is just going to cater to me. Like that character of being grown through adversity, the transfer portal takes away that option for you to grow through that character. But it is what it is. It's a new day and age in college football, and we got to ride with it. What it is. But cool call topic right here, folks. We got the Alabama alums coming up on their new NFL contracts here. So you got Jalen Waddle, former Alabama wide receiver with the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have picked up the fifth-year option on his rookie deal as he's played tremendously here through his first few years in the NFL. You got Christian Barmore. I remember, John, 2018, 2019, 2020. This guy was wrecking shop. I go back to the 2019 season in Alabama against LSU. If Pete Golden would have just kept Christian Barmore on the field longer, Alabama would have beaten LSU that 2019 season, but I digress from that statement. Christian Barmore has just signed a 4-year, $92 million extension for the Patriots. So Barmore got paid. And then you look at Patrick Surtain II with the Denver Broncos. A fifth-year option has been picked up on his rookie deal. That fifth-year option is set to pay him $19.8 million. So also, when you look at Alabama, the recent guys who entered the draft on last week, where Alabama had 10 players drafted, all of those guys have their rookie contracts projected on them now, according to SpotRack.com. But we take another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. When we get back, we get to a conversation on one Jalen Milroe. Everything's lining up for him to have a money season, a money year in the coming fall. Why has it set up this way for him? We'll talk about it after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, here we go. Back in, locked and loaded to the action from the break on a Wednesday, number one form for your Crimson Tide news, notes, and information. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, my man John Ivory in the production studio on this evening. Continue smashing the like button, giving that thumbs up, liking the show, getting those like levels up right there on the show, on the network. Hitting that subscribe button as well. Tapping that subscribe button, making this your network for all things Bama football. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. But topic two of the conversation, Jalen Milroe. Money season for him coming up in the upcoming fall. 2024 season in college football. Money time for Milroe. Last season, Milroe, first-year starter from Katy, Texas. We saw what he ended up doing. Despite him suffering a loss to Texas, week 2, being benched for Tyler Buckner, week 3 against South Florida, still into the season, nearly 3,000 passing yards, 2,834, 35 total touchdowns, 12 of those, of course, rushing scores there. Had the 4th and 31 Gravedigger play against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Played big against Georgia, SEC championship, to dethrone the two-time national champion Bulldogs, and then got the team back to the college football playoff after it missed out in the 2022 campaign. Milroe, team captain, voted on by his peers, handprint, cleat print, cemented forever on Denny Chimes during the A-Day game there. Jalen Milroe enters his money year. Redshirt junior season, 4th year for the Crimson Tide. Former 4-star in the 2021 class. And for Milroe, all of the goals, aspirations, every individual award he wants to win is right there. He's got a shot to win these awards here. When you look at being All-American, first team All-SEC, possibly a Heisman Trophy winner, possibly Manning Award winner, Davey O'Brien Award winner, Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner. And he's not going to win every single award, but a handful of these are at his fingertips. A handful of these are at his disposal to win. Most importantly, he's got a shot to be not just a first rounder, but a shot to possibly be the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. So why do I feel this way? Not just because Kool-Aid McKinstry went on Robert Griffin III's podcast, RG3 and the Wands. Kool-Aid said that guy Milroe's dangerous, and that guy Milroe's going to win the Heisman. I see it. And that guy Milroe's going to be a first rounder. Not because Kool-Aid McKinstry said it, even though what Kool-Aid says holds weight there. But I got 3 reasons here on screen why I feel like this is his money season in the upcoming fall. Number 1, for Jalen Milroe, Bama's got an offensive-minded staff around him. He's got a whole offensive staff. Kalen DeBoer, offensive mind, one of the best out there as a head coach, played wide receiver in high school and college to Kalen DeBoer. But you got Nick Sheridan as your offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. Nick Sheridan, former quarterback himself at the University of Michigan. Nick Sheridan, one of the better quarterback developers out there. You saw what he was able to do with Michael Penix Jr. We saw that, you got Nick Sheridan helping him out there as far as quarterback development. Then you got, wide receivers coach Jamarcus Shepard, offensive-minded guy, passing game coordinator experience. He's going to have those receivers right to where Milroe's hitting them in stride, getting up and down the field. Then you got Mitch Dalen, offensive analyst, who's worked with quarterbacks, who was a quarterback himself. And then you got Brian Ellis, though he's the tight ends coach. He was an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach at Georgia Southern last year. Oh, and by the way, he also played quarterback at UAB 2007 to 2011. So a whole offensive staff around Milroe, number one. He's got the guys that have tailored this offense around him. He's got the guys that are allowing him to be who he is. And at the same time, he has bought all the way in to learning the system, understanding the system, manipulating the system, and being able to work it to where he can have a marquee season. Number two, Bama's going to have an explosive pass-happy offense. They're going to run the football, but Alabama's going to be pass first. It's going to be a very pass-happy group here. When I look at the system, this offense that Kalen DeBoer is running, think back to Mike Leach, crazy pirate Mike Leach from during his time at Texas Tech. Remember when Mike Leach had those trigger-pulling quarterbacks at Texas Tech? Remember when he had Cliff Kingsbury, Sonny Cumbie, Graham Harrell, those dudes that were averaging 4,000 to 5,000 passing yards a year? And like Texas Tech was just slinging the ball all over the field like an Xbox video game? Picture that offense here at Alabama. That's what it's going to look like. Picture that here. Remember Texas Tech, 2008, when they had Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, all of those receivers? I think Texas Tech that season had about 4 or 5 1,000-yard receivers that year. I mean, everybody was flip frisbee catching dogs out there. Like you even had Uncle Mo out there with 1,000 yards. So I'm just saying that Texas Tech team, that era with Mike Leach, every wide receiver you put out there was a 1,000-yard dude. And then Leach took that offense to Washington State and then exploded there before he got to Mississippi State and unfortunately, passed away there, tragically. But that Mike Leach offense that was ran at Texas Tech, picture that being ran here. Because you've got receivers on this roster right now that full on saying Alabama can have 4 1,000-yard receivers on this team, 4 of them. And if I could pick the 4 that could happen, you would look at Kobe Prentice, you would look at Jeremy Bernard, you would look at Kendrick Law, I'll slide him in there, and the 4th one could either be Ryan Williams or Caleb Odom. One of those two could be the 4th one. So Prentice, Jerm, Law, and then the 4th one, Odom or Williams. I'm looking at this offense, and Jalen Milroe could have a 4,000-yard season. Could literally have a 4,000-yard season. With what DeBoer and this coaching staff install within this offense every single day, the wide receivers that are playing in this offense right now, how they love Coach Shep, how he's running routes with them in practice, how if a guy is open, he's telling Jalen Milroe, hey, my guy's open, give him the football. The way Jalen Milroe is coming to these wide receivers, hey, how can I make you better? Hey, how can I put this ball better on the spot so you can just catch and go? And he's taking these receivers and he is going out with them, training with them, building more of that connection, more of that continuity, more of that chemistry, more of that bond with these guys. I mean, you got running backs that can catch the ball out the backfield too. Jalen Milroe can definitely have a 4,000-plus yard passing season. It's right there. This is going to be a very much so explosive pass-happy offense. It's going to be right there. Not saying that there will not be a little resemblance of balance, because will be, but with DeBoer, Sheridan, DeMarcus Shepard, it's going to be a pass-happy offense, which really suits Milroe. And then last but not least here, of why he's in for a big, epic money season, media sites are starting to buy in on Milroe, possibly being a first rounder. John, I was looking at some betting sites the other day. BetOnline.ag had Milroe with the 5th highest odds right now of being the number 1 overall pick at 12-1. Milroe had the 5th highest odds of being the number 1 overall pick. The Draft Network, which is a website, they had Milroe projected as the number 1 overall pick of a 2025 NFL draft, just as an early projection. They had him right there. Then you look at Pro Football Focus, they had Milroe on their top 50 players big board for the 2025 draft. He's right there. Then you look at Jim Nagy, the senior executive director for the Reese's Senior Bowl. When Jim Nagy says something, you take it at face value. This is a guy that's been studying the draft for 20 plus years. This is the guy that has 6 Super Bowl rings as an NFL scout. So and we've seen his product, the Senior Bowl, get guys drafted, put guys in the first round. I mean, for crying out loud, Bama had Will Reichert, Justin Aboigbe, Chris Braswell, all in this recent Senior Bowl. All 3 of them got drafted. Michael Penix Jr., who played at Washington this past season for Kalen DeBoer, a former two-time 4,000-yard quarterback, got drafted number 8 overall to the Falcons. Michael Penix was in the Senior Bowl. I mean, few years back, Mac Jones, your Crimson Tide, goes down to the Senior Bowl, works with Jim Nagy, got drafted number 15 overall to the New England Patriots. The Patriots turned out to not be the best fit, but that's not on Jim Nagy, and that's not on the Senior Bowl. That's on the New England Patriots. Jim Nagy and the Senior Bowl did their job. Had them down there, had them compete, worked them out. Mac Jones goes in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. So, Jim Nagy has Jalen Milroe as one of his quarterbacks in the mix here to get that invitation to the Senior Bowl. So, you got media sites starting to look at him more. You've got this Alabama offense looking to be more so explosive, pass happy. That'll help Milroe. And then you've got this coaching staff full of offensive-minded guys around this young man. He's got everything around him to have an epic, sensational money year to be potentially a first-round draft pick in the 2025 venue, along with other awards he wants to accomplish. But the big thing he wants to do is lead Alabama to a college football playoff national championship. Kalen DeBoer's got a shot to have his second top 10 draft pick quarterback. He's got a shot to do it, and doing it with Jalen Milroe. This is going to be fun. This is going to be very exciting to see. Can these two, DeBoer and Milroe, get this done? We'll take another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. I want to hear from you. Ring those phone lines. We'll be back after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, locked and loaded to the action from the break. Number 1 ticket for your Crimson Tide. football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to be here. And shouts out to Southern Red with that $5 donation. Putting the love there in the bucket for us. Appreciate Southern Red helping us out on the show. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate you guys for all that support. Continue to smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make this your spot, your avenue, your place to talk Bama football. Phone lines open. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Ridge Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. As you guys are continuing to get your thoughts ready to call into the show here, we got a awesome call topic here. So Alabama ended up drawing 10 players taken in the draft. Nick Saban ends his tenure at Alabama, 47 first-round picks since 09. 47. He's put over 100 players in the draft. He had 10 to come out in this year's draft. So for 3 first-rounders, you had J.C. Latham, number 7, to the Titans. You had Dallas Turner, number 17, to the Vikings. Excuse me, Terrion Arnold, number 24, to the Lions. Kool-Aid McKinstry, second round, number 41 to the Saints. Chris Braswell, second round, number 57 to the Buccaneers. Third round, you had Jermaine Burton, number 80 overall, to the Cincinnati Bengals. Fourth round, you had Justin DeBoer. I think he was number 105, if I'm not mistaken, to the LA Chargers. Bama didn't have anybody in the 5th round. 6th round, it had 2 guys come off the board. It had 2 guys off the board in the 5th round, in the 6th round. That would be in the 6th round. It had Will Reichert to the Minnesota Vikings, and it had Jace McClellan. There we go, Jace McClellan in the 6th round to the Atlanta Falcons, and then the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, that being one, Jalen Key, to the New York Jets. So Bama had 10 guys off the board. You know, all 10 guys went into pretty cool spots there. I think all 10 guys are going to have success here. When you talk about Terrion Arnold to the Lions, love that. I mean, Minnesota Vikings getting an elite pass rusher in Dallas Turner, although I thought Dallas would come off the board way before 17, but he goes 17 to the Vikings. J.C. Latham at number 7 to the Titans was big. I thought the Titans were going to take Joe Alt from Notre Dame. They roll the dice. They take J.C. Latham. They give Will Levis some help at quarterback. I was happy about that. Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Saints, that was a sneaky good spot. Kool-Aid's going to have a chance to feast in that NFC South, excuse me. So Kool-Aid, I'm happy about him. Jermaine Burton to the Bengals, that was a good spot for him in the AFC North. He's not going to have to be a number 1 receiver, but as number 3 guy, Jermaine Burton can feast, catching passes from Joe Burrow. That's going to be good. Chris Braswell to the Buccaneers. I like that move. I think he's going to be just absolute off the edge. Having Justin DeBoer, despite all he went through, go to the Chargers, he is going to learn from Joey Bosa. That's going to be fantastic right there. When you talk about you can talk about Jace McClellan to the Falcons. He goes to a place to where he's close to home. He's close to Alabama. You know, Jace, that's going to be good for him, getting that work in Atlanta. It's going to be closer to his trainer, you know, Robert Lester, former Auburn running back, but Robert Lester at the Speed Genius in Atlanta, who did a lot of work there with Jace. So happy to see Jace go there. To see Reichert go to Minnesota, Reichert's going to kick in a dome his entire life. So Reichert's going to put a good 10, 15, 20 years in the league. And then, of course, Jalen Key to the Jets. Happy for him. So Bama's got the 10 guys taken there in the draft. We're still waiting to see where does Tresman Marshall go in free agency as an undrafted free agent. Darian Dalcourt went to the Baltimore Ravens. He signed with the Ravens as a free agent, so we're just waiting to see where does Tresman Marshall go. We have not gotten word on him. When we get word on him, we will definitely pass that along. But we take our final break here, folks. Don't touch that down. When we get back, we conclude the conversation. We conclude the show with Coach Kalen DeBoer. People are already saying he was the right hire for Alabama. But can he end the 3-year national championship drought? We talk to DeBoer to wrap things up after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, here we go. Rocking and rolling here. Number one ticket for your Bama Crimson Tide news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have all of you on a Wednesday. Appreciate the donations, the super chats, the calls, the YouTube comment chat, and you guys have been outstanding, making this your spot here for all things Crimson Tide football. We get into now the final topic here of the conversation. And this goes to Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer, and people are starting to look at him not just as the right hire by Alabama, but a guy that will have a lot of success where the Crimson Tide is concerned. ESPN college football analyst Dusty Dvorak, he was on the Next Round show earlier today, WJOX Jocks 94.5 here in the Birmingham area. And Dusty mentioned, hey, you know, I got a chance to talk with Coach DeBoer. I think he was the right hire for Alabama. He's going to have a lot of success where the Crimson Tide is concerned. And Dusty mentioned, you know, other people would have been afraid, scared to come behind the GOAT, the legend, and Coach Saban and say, I want to follow directly behind that. Kalen DeBoer says, not me. I want to be the guy to do it. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be fearful. I'm going to take on the challenge. I'm going to welcome the challenge. I'm going to do it my way, but I'm going to welcome the challenge of coming in the shoes or to fill the shoes left behind by Coach Saban and continue the greatness off of what this foundation has already been built on. For DeBoer to do that, that says a lot about him. I mean, folks, keep in mind, Alabama football changed on January 3rd, 2007 when Nick Saban came in here. It changed. Before Nick Saban, it was you had lost national prominence. You had lost national championship mystique. You had went through sanctions and NCAA violations, and you had went through, you know, coaches that had you in the lean area, in the lean era period. You had went through getting beat in 6 straight Iron Bowls by Auburn. You went through a lot before Nick Saban came in. Nick Saban came in 07 and changed everything. With Nick Saban, he took you from bare bones to the gold standard. He took you, as my wife likes to say, from the pit to the palace, so to speak. Nick Saban took you from the lean years to, 6 national championships, 9 conference titles, 4 Heisman Trophy winners, numerous top-ranked recruiting classes, several All-Americans, over 100 players in the National Football League, 47 first-round picks. Nick Saban did a lot for you in 17 years. He did a lot for you. The program changed when Nick Saban got there. So on January 10th, 2024, the program changed again. Nick Saban announced his retirement, his goodbye in terms of coaching. And it shook everybody up for a while. Like, I'm driving through Chick-fil-A and I get the news. And I'm having to pull over at Chick-fil-A trying to hold myself together to do a video about what in the world just happened. Nick Saban just peaced out, right? And Greg Byrne, athletic director, God bless him, he's battling off sleep. He's battling off sleep, nerves, apprehension, everything. Like, Greg Byrne says, guys, give me 72 hours to find the next coach. He does it in 40 hours. I remember Kalen DeBoer's plane comes into Tuscaloosa Regional Airport on Friday, January the 12th. He steps off the plane. Can y'all imagine what's going through this man's mind? He's got to walk into a team meeting with players. He has got to walk into a program that was operated by the GOAT for 17 years. He's got to walk into a program and pitch his philosophy as to why y'all need to rock with me. He's got to walk into a program and pitch his philosophy of why you need to buy into what I'm selling you. He's got to walk into a program and literally get these young men to understand Saban's gone, but everything's going to be okay. Like, he's got to do that. He's got to be the ultimate salesman. He's got to be the ultimate salesman, but also the ultimate guy to say, I'm here for you. I care about you. I'm rocking with you. Like, he's got to do both at the same time. You know how hard that is? And Kalen DeBoer walks in there that night and not only does it, but he kept so many core nucleus players to this program. Kalen DeBoer walks in there. Jalen Milroe could have went anywhere. He bought into Coach DeBoer's vision. Tyler Booker could have went anywhere. He bought into Kalen DeBoer's vision. Jaden Roberts, Malachi Moore, Devontae Smith, Deontay Lawson, Jihad Campbell. A lot of these dudes could have went anywhere. Justice Haynes, Keon Keeley, Kobe Prentice could have went anywhere. CJ Dupree could have went anywhere. They chose to say, I'm going to stay 10 toes down and buy into DeBoer. You know how hard that was for a man that comes from the Pacific Northwest, has no idea what the South is. He comes all the way, geographically, comes all the way to Tuscaloosa and has to convince young men, hey, the guy you always wanted to play for, Nick Saban, just retired, but I'm here for you. And he got everybody in terms of the core nucleus of his team to say, Coach, I'm down. And they remain. That says a lot there about Coach DeBoer, not just wanting to be here, not just wanting to succeed, Nick Saban, not just wanting this pressure, not just wanting to identify with this program and continue the success, but also him being willing to go right to them players and saying, look, I know you're hurting. I know you're going through a lot. I know there's a lot out there in them doggone tea leaves, but rock with me. I got you. I got you. And it is incredible what he's done. And I know through spring practice, John, when we went out there for TDA and we saw the music being played, right? and we saw Coach DeBoer's music playlist range from Notorious B.I.G. to Outkast. We seen the playlist. We've heard the playlist, right? Like whoever they got holding the aux cord, they got the best NIL deal. I'm just saying. Even though we saw that, there were a lot of people that said, how would Nick Saban feel? How would the GOAT feel? Saban would be crying right now. Saban wouldn't have allowed this. Saban wouldn't have let this fly. People, for 17 years, Saban did it his way, and his way worked. It was structure, it was discipline, it was not a lot of access, it was no music. The only music you saw on the practice field, Saban cussing players out, Saban cussing coaches out, coaches cussing players out, footballs whistling through the air, pads popping, people sweating, that Nat football sound. That's what you heard. 17 years of Coach Saban, but it worked, right? Here comes Kalen DeBoer bringing his own style, his own flavor, his own philosophy into the mix. And the players are loving it, and the coaches are loving it. We're going to get a chance to see what this does. He's brought an excitement, he's brought a zeal, brought a vibe, but he also has a discipline method to what he wants to do. He wants guys giving full effort, full toughness, full commitment, full excellence, full having pride in your work. He wants those things too. And with his style, those things are provided also. The biggest thing for Coach DeBoer is going to be Alabama's in a 3-year national championship drought. Something it has not experienced in a long time. 3-year national championship drought. Can DeBoer end this? Can he erase this in year one? That's the big question for him. Can he erase it in year one? He erases this in year one with a 12-team playoff, with a divisionless SEC. As a first-year head coach at Alabama, if he can erase a 3-year national championship drought in this upcoming season, this is the man. This is the man right here. If he is able to get this done, we will all be watching this. But I think Alabama hit a home run with this move. The while I was at spring practice, around Coach DeBoer, around the staff, these guys are on an absolute mission, and the players are feeling it, and the coaches are feeling it. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I think DeBoer has college football right where he wants it at. I think Alabama, in terms of people doubting, people naysaying, people saying, hey, because Saban's gone, this team's going to fall off the map. It's going to be a fall from grace with Saban gone. I think we're about to see an Alabama team that's about to really do some stuff here in this upcoming season. But as always, folks, you want the best in news, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite football program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Also, be sure to subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com. Subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com so you can be in the know for all things Crimson Tide football, whether it's recruiting. Our guy Justin Smith, the director of scouting and recruiting, does an unbelievable job, whether it's recruiting in terms of freshmen, transfer portal recruiting. You get that subscription there. You also get the Justin and Dex podcast, all things recruiting. Subscribe to TDA Plus to get that. The way it is, my podcast, subscribe to TDA Plus to get that as well. Also we got you covered. The current Alabama roster, where this team is concerned, these coaches are concerned. And if you're looking at Alabama football in the NFL, in the pros, we got you right there as well. TouchdownAlabama.com. Get that subscription. You will not be disappointed in what you have right there. As always, got to give you, the Bama Nation, a shout out for all the love today, for all the calls, donations, chatting, comments. You guys making this your show, your spot, your network, but talk all things Bama football. Guys, show some love to my man John Ivory in the production studio holding it down. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored and finish school strong. School year's almost over. Finish school strong, though. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great meals, the great naps a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.